محمد رسول الله.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear esteemed viewers of MTA Africa, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to our new episode of Journey to Islam, where we bring to you various members of the Jamaat who have converted from various religions and sects to Islam Ahmadiyya. And today we're having brother Tawufiq Basooma, who has come to share with us his story, how he joined Jamaat Ahmadiyya. Brother Tawufiq, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please say salam to our viewers of MTA Africa and you give us your background.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear viewers of MTA Africa, my name is Tawufiq Basooma, a new convert to the Jamaat Ahmadiyya.
Can you give us your family background?
Yes, I come from a family, it is a nuclear family of a mother and father. We are 2 children and I'm the second born. My family, specifically, it was an Ahmadi family from my dad's side, but I think because of earthly matters, I started understanding at the age of at around 4 years, and my dad, I got to know that he was a Muslim, but not an Ahmadi Muslim. And after that, after growing up, I got to get some knowledge about our family, and my great-grandfather is the one who introduced Jamaat Ahmadiyya to our home place in Jinja. So at around 4 years, because it's when I start recalling some incidents, I got to know that we are Muslims, but we were not practicing Muslims. So I grew up in a family where my mom was not a Muslim, my dad was a Muslim, but not a practicing one. At around 2019, we changed the place and we went to a certain place called Chijabijo in a town known as Gayaza. It is where...
That is Kampala.
Yeah, in Kampala. But before going to Gayaza, I got some little exposure about Islam from my uncle, a little brother to my dad. He came to our home at, I think it was 2017, and he had some good knowledge about Islam. He taught us how to perform the wuzu. He taught us some du'as before going to Salah, after performing the wuzu. But when he went away from our home, everything stopped because we had no one to monitor us, whether we have prayed or what, because
Mom, she wasn't practicing that.
A Muslim, and she was a Christian, moreover, a Christian who is not practicing. So our life was a normal life, being at home, nothing like prayer.
What about Jumas? Offering like Juma? Just Muslims by name.
Yeah, Muslims by name. We don't go to church. We don't. Neither do we go to the mosque, because if at all our mother was a practicing Christian, maybe we would have gone to Christianity. But she was not a...
What about Eid?
Nothing like that. All we could notice about Eid was getting new kanzus, just putting them on at home, because we could get some Muslim visitors from our family, but they would come maybe after their Eid prayers. So we could stay around at home. In the evening, they would go back. But for us, we would not even go to the mosque. We would just stay at home and the day goes on. So when we moved from that place to Gayaza.
Change the location.
Yeah, we changed the location. We got a chance and we found a guy was almost in our age bracket, and he was a practicing Muslim. So
in the new place where you had transferred to.
yeah. So he tried to teach us how to practice Islam. From there, he even gave us some Muslim attires like the kanzus. They were low-key. You can put them anytime you want, do any work you want while you're having them on. So that guy, honestly, he was a good person because he taught us more knowledge about what our uncle had taught us way back in 2017. So he taught us more, and he continued from where I had stopped in the Yasarna. But honestly speaking, by that time, everything was not in my head. So I had to go back.
The one which was taught by your uncle.
Yeah, about the Yasarna was not in my head. So he had to begin from scratch. So I started from the beginning. Yeah, of the Yasarna. So he taught me until I finished the Yasarna. But this guy, more about this guy, he was a Tabligh Muslim. So he involved me into such activities. So during holidays, I could go with them for Tabligh. So we could move from home and go to another place just specifically to go and preach.
You could preach those who are already Muslims, or you could even preach to those who were even non-Muslims.
It was only specifically for the Muslims because we could go and station at certain mosques.
As we see your story now, you have got a friend whom you are moving with and trying to learn Islam, that is under Tabligh sect. Yeah. And then at the same time, you gaining knowledge of Islam. Do you, by that time, do you get any information about the Jamaat, and what was the picture? Did you get any information about the Jamaat, and what was the picture by then being portrayed before you about the Jamaat?
Yeah, I got some information about the Jamaat, but the information, honestly speaking, it was very terrible. And on making some more research in the future, I found out it was very fake.
It was just allegations.
Yeah, it was wrong. So some of the information was this friend of ours had some sheikhs from that sect, and they were very good friends of him. These people, they were very respectable. Even by their appearance, you couldn't even expect that someone of their caliber would say something wrong about another person. So some of the things that were told to us were...
Meaning you would expect them to speak truth.
Only the truth. But these guys would tell us that there are so many sects in Islam, but there is this one sect that is exceptional. These people, they are abnormal.
Among all the sects in Islam, they singled out one.
Yeah. They could tell us more about this sect, that these people are exceptional. They don't even know what happened to them, but they are cursed. They have a curse from Allah. And they would tell us that these guys have tails.
So it's one of the cast, yeah, from our
When I first heard about this, that Ahmadi Muslims have tails, I was so curious. So I asked one of the sheikhs after the dars, because after Maghrib, we would have such. Yeah, yeah. So I asked him, how can a human have a tail? What this guy told me was, when Allah curses you, He can give you a curse, and the curse will be generational. So this guy told me that there is a certain guy in the early 18s. For them, this is how they used to tell us. There is a certain guy from the early 18s. He was called Ahmad Zadulam. That is how they used to tell us. They said this Ahmad Zadulam came, and he was an imam in a certain village. So when many people started believing in him, he got okay a feeling, and he was like, how about if I told them I was a prophet, because many of them believe in me. So this guy told us, when this Ahmad Azadulam, as he used to call him, got this thought in his head, he decided to announce that he was a prophet.
After acquiring many followers.
Yeah, after acquiring very many followers. So when he announced that he was a prophet, he said this guy would lie to the people. So by the time he said he was a prophet, people stopped believing him, because they heard that the last prophet was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when this Ahmad Azadulam, as he called him, said he was a prophet, the people stopped believing him. So these people turned away from him. So what this guy did, the Ahmad Azadulam, he started using black magic on these people. So he started using black magic. After that, the people started coming back, because he had used some certain black magic on them. When these people came back to him, other people from Islam came to preach them back to the original Islam, away from this.
What Ahmad was teaching them.
But these people refused. So this sheikh told us that Allah cast them immediately.
Cast the followers.
Yeah. And he says, the sheikh, he was a very elderly man. He said, Allah, this was the curse from Allah. He cast that everyone who will follow Ahmad Azadulam, as he called him, would get a tail. And this tail would not be so big that people will take time to notice it. So I was curious. I waited for this sheikh after the darus. So after Isha, when it was time for everyone doing their own stuff, I went back to the same imam, because we were in the Jama. It is how we used to call it. Yeah. So I went to him and asked, are you serious? They have tails. Then he asked, do you expect I can lie from the mosque? Automatically, I
Yeah, he already warned you.
Another allegation was, these people, they pray from, the imam stands in a grave-like structure. So in the mosque in front, where the imam has to be leading from, these Ahmadis, they dig something like a grave. So the imam goes down there. Yeah. So when I heard this, I had so many questions, and even a certain sheikh told me that, do you know did he say the people of Bani Israel? He said, these people, they became kafirs because of asking so many questions. Stop asking irrelevant questions. Ask a question that is relevant to the situation. So when these people told me that the imam goes into something like a grave to lead the prayer, I asked the sheikh, before even finishing, I asked him, excuse me, sir, do these people jump into the grave, or they put ladders? Then he was like, you have to make research. The Holy Prophet said that every Muslim should make research. Then he said, just look for their mosque and go and see. I'm not sure whether they have ladders, the stairs that they use to go under there, or the Imam just jumps into the
Meaning he was also speaking, but not out of experience or having observed by his own
These
eyes.
stories were told to them the same way it was told to me as a young boy. And these people were very old people. So, as a young boy, you couldn't expect someone of their age to be lying. So,
Dear our esteemed viewers of MT Africa, as we are still continuing with our program Journey to Islam, our brother Tawufiq is telling us so amazing and surprising allegations that are made against the Jamaat, and most of our members and those who are against Islam are given these allegations, and they are even actually satisfied with them, and they are kept away from knowing the truth of Jamaat Ahmadiyya. Yes, please let's continue with the story. So out of those allegations, okay, now you have got all those allegations, but for you knowing it is the truth. Yes. But for God's sake, you had some still lingering questions about those allegations, or so-called truth to them that they were giving you. Now, how do you come into contact with the Jamaat? And besides that, you have had all those, but again, how do you come into contact with the Jamaat, and then that feeling to find out those things that you were taught by the Tabligh sheikhs?
So, how I came into contact with the Jamaat, this uncle of mine that I've been telling you about that came to our home in 2017. By that time, I did not get to know that he was an Ahmadi Muslim. But in 2023, I was in senior 3. Then this uncle of mine, he told me that he wanted me to go and stay with him. When I reached the Markaz, I first went and peeped into their mosque.
To find out whether there is that grave.
To find out. Do they have ladders? The stairs in this pit, or the Imam just falls inside there? So when I came, I found a certain little boy. His name is called Swaib Ahmad. This boy, okay, he was approachable because I was older than him. So I went and asked him, where is your mosque? He said, this is the mosque. So I told him, where does the Imam stand? He said, come, I show you. I went with him. Then he said, he stands here. Do you want to lead? I said, no, I don't want to lead. So I asked him, because even among the allegations was they have a little white stone. When they are in sujud, they put it here, then they put down. So I asked him, do you pray? He said, yes. I told him, show me your stone. He said, which stone? I said, there is a little stone that you guys put on your head when you're in sajida. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. So I just continued with my prayer. After I stood up for the last 2 rakas, but then after, these people started reading a certain book. This book, I don't really remember the name, but when I heard the promised Messiah, then they say the name that I had not yet heard of. For me, I had a different name in my head, and them, they were saying another name. So I sat patiently up to when the book was finished. Then when I went back to the office, I told my uncle I wanted to talk to him. So we got out of the office. We went outside. Then I told him, I have had a certain name that I know, but it is kind of different from what I really know. Then he said, which name? Then I told him, Ahmad Azadulam. What do you know about him? He said, maybe you're saying Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Then I was like, no, for me, I'm saying Ahmad Azadulam. Then he said, no, maybe you're saying the name wrongly. Then I told him everything that they told me about this guy. Then he said, for me, I will tell you nothing, but I can give you books that you can read. I told him I'm not good at reading. Then he said, if you don't like reading, the only solution to all your questions is one, attend Amir's Darus. Every morning, you will have every solution to your question. Then I said, okay. Early in the morning, it was time for the Amir's Darus. So I went into the Darus. It was not something special. For the first day, it was not special. Then when he came, I told him there was nothing special about what he said. So there is no question that is going to be answered by what he is saying. Then he said, you be patient. If you don't get what you need, by the end of senior 3, you will go back to your school. Then I told him, okay. But after some time, for something like about 2 months, from what the Amir was teaching, I got some answers to the questions. Some of the questions that I had one of them was about the Masih. Was it Masih Dajjal? These people would tell us that by the time this guy is going to come, he's going to have one eye. Then that he's going to have a horse that before going to a certain place, it will first communicate before going to a certain place. When it is going that this horse, it eats fire. Yeah, it eats fire. That before going to a certain place, it will first communicate. But to go, it will step here. But to remove its feet, to put them back on ground, it will be in its destination. But this Amir explained it logically that I could even relate. I asked a question. I told him, explain about this horse that they told us about. Then he explained. And the explanation he gave us was about an aeroplane. Then I realized, before the aeroplane sets off, it first communicates to its destination. Before it moves, it is on the ground, but when it sets off from the ground, the next time it is on ground, it is on its destination. So this was something satisfying. So when I asked him, why did our Imams tell us something different, the Amir told me that in the times of those Sahabas, there is no way you could tell them that in the future there is something called an aeroplane. But the only way the Prophet could explain something that they can understand was giving them an example of a horse that they used to use as a means of transport, and it was the fastest. So the aeroplane is the fastest in our era. So he used that as an explanation for that.
It is a nice story to hear, but time is always not our best ally. Dear our esteemed viewers of MTA Africa, I would like to, as we come to the end of this program, Journey to Islam, yes, brother Tawufiq Basooma, please can you give us just a few words that you'd like to give as a message to the viewers of MTA Africa, the members of the Jamaat and the non-members of the Jamaat, in few minutes?
My remarks to everyone watching this is joining Jamaat Ahmadiyya was something that put my heart at peace. Because before I had so many questions that were left unanswered, but when I joined the Jamaat, everything was answered. Just looking at the organization in the Jamaat was something that made me feel at home, because at a certain level we had a certain occasion at my school, and a certain department was handed to a very small boy, small and short, but this boy could just use a simple tone of language, and very old people would respect what he has said, which is very different from what I had in my previous experience of life. So, honestly speaking, joining the Jamaat is something that I've found so satisfying to me, to the extent that right now I cannot say much because I've not acquired so much knowledge, but from my experience, because even in the past I could say that what I believed was the right thing because of the views that I could give. But right now I can say what I believe right now is something true, because even writing to the Huzur is something very special, because at a certain moment I wrote to the Huzur because I was going to sit for my O-level leaving exams, the UCE. Then I wrote to the Huzur and asked him to pray for me. Just I wanted to get marks that would make my course a preferable course, because I wanted to offer architecture, and the principal subjects I wanted was art, physics and math. So when my results came back, they were what I wanted, because I wrote to him. Unfortunately, I did not get a reply, but I believe he prayed for me. Yeah.
Jazakumullah ahsan al-jaza, brother Tawufiq Basooma, for that wonderful elaboration of your journey to Islam. Dear our esteemed viewers, we come to the end of our program just because of time. But had we to have actually another avenue, maybe we would have elaborated, we would have given him a chance to elaborate more, because he seems to have a lot, but due to time he can't narrate it all. Thank you very much. We meet in another episode. I'm your presenter, I remain your presenter, Sheikh Badru Kazingirize. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.